children, welcome to our NS class. Today I am going to start you a new lesson. Okay. So before entering into our lesson, we'll speak about the topic that we have already covered in the previous class. So in the previous classes we have that is about the food components we have covered. That is one of the basic necessity of our life is food. We know already, isn't it? So the next basic necessity of our life is clothes. Is it clear? Yes, clothing is a very much essential for our life apart from food, and also shelter. You know very well. In previous class of 6, we have already learned that we get clothes from fibers, isn't it? What are the different types of fibers, children? There are 2 different fibers. What are they? They are natural fibers and artificial fibers. You know very well, natural fibers, we get them from plants and animals. And what are artificial fibers? They are made by man using chemicals, isn't it? So in this lesson, we are going to read about the animal fibers. You have already learnt about the plant fibers like cotton and jute, isn't it? Apart from cotton and jute, you also have the fibers from coconut, aloe vera and so on. Now, in this lesson of animal fiber, so what is your name of the lesson? Animal fibers. So, in this lesson of third lesson, animal fibers, you are going to learn about silk and wool. So we get silk from silkworm and wool from sheep, you know very well. And also we get wool from camel, yak, goat, sheep, so on. Okay, so there are animals which give us wool from different places of our country. Especially now we are going to learn about the silk in today's class. Okay children, are you ready? Let's start the lesson of silk, story of silk. What is the story of silk? In this, you have to be familiar with certain words. First of all, I want to tell you that we get silk from silkworm. We get silk from silkworm. Silkworm, which is also called as Bombyx mori. The scientific name of silkworm is Bombyx mori. What is it? Name of silkworm is Bombyx mori. You have to be familiar with these words. So try to write these words which are unknown to you at least 2 to 3 times and try to pronounce it. Okay, listen properly while I am saying. So we get silk from the silkworm. Before entering into the silkworm, you should know the life cycle of silkworm. What is the life cycle of silk? That is, how do you get silk? First I told you that we get silk from silkworm. Where do we get silk from? We get silk from silkworm. So this is a fabric of silk that I am showing you now. This is the fabric of silk. So you get this silk from the insect named silkworm. In any insect, in any life cycle of insects, it has 4 stages. How many stages, children? 4 stages. Already you have learnt in your smaller classes about the life cycle of butterfly, isn't it? So this is the life cycle of butterfly. You know very well. It contains 4 stages. So butterfly or housefly, if you take any insect. So this is a adult housefly. Okay. So this is adult housefly. It lays eggs. It changes into caterpillar stage and then changes to pupa stage. And finally, it changes to the adult stage. In the similar manner, the silk moth also has 4 stages in its life cycle. How many stages that the silkworm has in its life cycle? Life cycle of silkworm consists of 4 stages. How many stages, children? 4 stages. What are they? They are egg stage, larva stage, pupa stage and adult stage. First is egg. Next, larva. Next, pupa. And finally, it changes to adult. Okay, children. So, in the life cycle of silkworm, it undergoes changes into from egg to adult. When it undergoes the transformation, the changes it undergoes are divided into 4 stages. They are egg stage, larva stage, pupa stage and adult stage. Now I am going to show you the life cycle of silkworm. This is egg stage. So you have to draw the life cycle of silkworm. These are eggs. Next, it transforms to larva stage. So the larva undergoes several changes in its transformation. Okay. These are the stages of larva. See here, children, carefully while I am drawing. Okay, this is the larva stage. Stages of larva. See clearly. See children, here the life cycle of silkworm, it has first egg stage. Next, these are the stages of larva. Okay. You can see this is also called as caterpillar stage. What are they called as, children? They are caterpillar stage. Try to draw these stages neatly in your notebooks. Okay. So these are all up to here. Up to here, these are caterpillar stages. Okay. Next, this is pupa stage. Pupa has 2 stages indeed. So it also has, it is of 8 shape in number. Okay. It undergoes transformation like this, the changes, transformational changes, and it changes into adult stage finally. So first stage is egg stage, next one is larva. These are the stages of larva. Next one is pupa stage. The final stage is adult, or it is also called as imago. It's also called as imago. So this is the life cycle of silkworm. At every stage you have to write, these are the stages of larva. Stages of larva or caterpillar stages. Okay children, so this is the life cycle of silkworm. So when it is in egg stage, what does the silk weavers do? How do they manufacture the silk? That is what we are going to learn in this lesson. Once again, you see children, this is the life cycle of silkworm. In the life cycle of silkworm, the adult silk moth it lays eggs, it transforms the changes into egg, larva, pupa, and again it transforms into adult. So at what stage of the silkworm, this is called as silk moth, adult silkworm is called as silk moth, we get the silk. We get silk at the pupa stage of the silkworm. Okay, so how does we get this silk? Now we are going to learn. Okay children, try to draw this picture neatly in your notebooks. So this is the life cycle of silkworm. It undergoes 4 stages. They are egg, larva, pupa and imago. We get silk at which stage of silk moth children? It is, we get silk at pupa stage of silk moth. Okay, now first draw and I'll continue the lesson now. Okay children, you have this diagram in your textbook also, you can draw neatly. Okay, next, in the life cycle of silkworm, as I told you earlier that we get silk at its pupa stage. Okay, so normally the silkworm weavers, what do they do means, they take the eggs of the silk moth, they buy the silk moth eggs, or also they buy the silk moths from the seed growing centers, silkworms or silk moths from the seed growing centers. Silk moths are called as chilakalu in our local name. What are they called as? Chilakalu. Okay, the silkworms mostly they are manufactured or they are bought from Kurnool, Kadapa and Palmaneru, Mahabubnagar of our state, of our country, in our country. Mostly the silk moth are being produced in Kurnool, Kadapa and Mahabubnagar also. Okay, Mahabubnagar. Silkworms are being produced. They are also produced in West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. West Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh also. So the silkworms are produced in these districts. Okay, so this silkworms changes into which stage, Nana? First it produces the eggs. At one go, each silk moth produces 500 eggs and dies. Each silk moth produces 500 eggs in one go and dies. Okay, so these eggs are placed in the mesh frames. They are light yellow in color. The eggs of silk moth are light yellow, very small. They are very small. Okay. They are light yellow in color and they are very small. Where they are kept? They are kept in the mesh frames. Keeping the white paper over the mesh frame, they keep the eggs over the trays. Okay, so these they buy the silk moths or the silkworm eggs from the seed growing centers. Okay, the place where the silk moth which are ready to lay eggs are sold, they are called as greenages. What are they called as? Greenages. The place where the silk moth which are ready to lay eggs, are sold are called as greenages. So the term greenages, it is a new term to you. Is it clear, children? So listen properly and try to write in your notes. What are grenages? The place where the silk moth which are ready to lay eggs are sold are called as grenages. They are also called as seed growing centers. What are they called, children? Seed growing centers. The biggest seed growing center is at Harsley Hills in Chittoor district. Okay, ma? It is at Harsley Hills in Chittoor district. Also, you can find in Tadakapalli of Anantapur district also there is a seed growing center. So, hope you have understood what are grenages. They are the seed growing. Why it is called as seed growing center? Again, you may have doubt. So, eggs are called as seeds. Eggs are called as seeds or vittulu by our local manufacturers or the weavers. These silkworm weavers, they call the silk moth eggs as seeds or vittulu in their local language. Okay, so that it is called as seed growing center. Seed growing center means the place where the silk moth which are ready to lay eggs are sold. Okay, children? So note down this point now. Next, coming to the after eggs, which stage it transforms into? Larva stage, isn't it? So soon after the eggs try to change into the larva stage, the farmers, what do? They try to supply them the food it needs. It starts eating the food. It develops the mouth parts, isn't it, in the larva stage where you have seen. So it eats. So what does the silkworm feed on? The silkworm are fed with mulberry leaves. So silkworms feed on mulberry leaves. Silkworms feed on mulberry leaves. Okay, so the mulberry plantation, it needs, so mulberry plantation. The mulberry plantation or the twigs are mostly grown in Palmaneru of Chittoor district. Where it is grown? Palmaneru of Chittoor district. Most of them, the silkworm weavers, they buy the mulberry leaf or the mulberry plantation from the Palmaneru of Chittoor district and try to cultivate the forms in their places also. Okay, so they buy the twigs. The whole process starting from the silk moth to the process to get the silk, this is called as sericulture. What is called as sericulture? So new term again you are going to learn now. What is sericulture? Sericulture is obtaining silk from the silkworm. It is called as sericulture. Obtaining silk from silkworm. It is called as sericulture. Sericulture is the process of obtaining silk. Where do we get silk from, as I told you? We get silk from silkworm. Yes, you know it now. So silkworms, from the silkworms we get the silk. The process of obtaining silk is called as sericulture. Okay, note down this also, children. Next, after they are fed with mulberry leaves, they try to grow. Okay, so when they transform into this silkworm stage, they are kept on the large sized cane frames called chandrikalu. Where they are kept? They are kept on large sized cane frames which are called as chandrikalu. Chandrikalu are large sized cane frames where the silkworms are kept for their feeding. So the mulberry leaves are chopped finely. So finely chopped mulberry leaves are kept on large sized cane frames, and the eggs which transform into the larva, they eat these mulberry leaves and they grow in their size. When they are fully grown, after 30 to 35 days, they stop eating the mulberry leaves. Okay, children? So, up to that, they eat the mulberry leaves. After 30 to 35 days of their full growth, they stop eat the mulberry leaves. Then they try to produce the saliva from its mouth and surround around its body, forming a network. Okay, children? So this forms like a closed sac. It forms like a closed sac. When it is exposed to air and light, it becomes strong. Okay, so this formation of closed sac is called as cocoon. What is it called? It is called as cocoon. You have seen this eggs. These are eggs. It is transformed to larva, isn't it? You have also seen the larva stage of the silk moth, isn't it? This is the larva stage of the silk moth. Okay, children? So that you can have a clear picture of the larva stage. And next, it develops the mouth parts. From the larva stage, it develops into the cocoon, which is in the form of 8, I said you, isn't it? It's in the form of 8. Next, it transforms into the adult. But in the manufacture of the silkworm, so it doesn't change into adult stage. Here, this is called as cocoon. It is in the form of closed sac. Is it clear? It is in the form of closed sac. The larva, what happens? It develops the saliva which surrounds around its body. And when it is exposed to air, it becomes a closed sac which becomes very strong. Okay, they are thread-like structures which becomes very strong. At this stage only, before the larva stage transforms into the adult stage, it is being stifled. Why is it stifled? What is stifling? These terms you have to know now. Then only we can get the silk. Before the transformation into the adult stage itself, we have to get the silkworm weavers get the silk. So how does it takes place? Here, two terms I told you. One is stiffling process and the other one is reeling process. Stiffling process and the other one is reeling process. These two processes are carried out after the eggs are transformed to cocoon stage in the manufacture of the silk. Okay, children? So, in the stiffling process, what does the weavers do? The weavers, they keep all the cocoons in a hot bath, okay, for about 15 minutes and steam it for 15 minutes so that the larva present inside the cocoon gets killed. Okay, what happens? You may get doubt. What happens if the larva is not killed? Larva is not killed. What is the other stage after cocoon stage? It transforms to adult stage. If it transforms to adult stage, it pierces the body of cocoon and come out, spoiling the cocoon. So in such a case, we cannot get the continuous silk thread. So in order to get this continuous silk thread, the silk moths at the cocoon stage, so the silk moths which transformed, which lay eggs and which transform into the cocoon stage, the cocoons are to be stifled in order to kill the larva present inside the cocoon. Larva present inside the cocoon, that is the caterpillar, the worm, is to be killed. Okay, so the killing of the larva present inside the cocoon is called the stifling process. What is stifling process, children? Stifling process is the process of killing the larva inside the cocoon. The process of killing larva or caterpillar. Larva is also called as caterpillar inside the cocoon. It is called as stifling process. After stifling process, all the cocoons, after the larva is been killed, the cocoons are kept in hot bath, that is boiling water. Boiling water. Why they are kept in boiling water? So as to loosen the fiber. They are kept in boiling water to loosen the fiber in order to be able to reel it. Okay, so that is called as reeling process. Reeling process means obtaining the silk from the silk cocoon. It is called as reeling process. The process of obtaining silk from cocoons. It is called as reeling process. Okay, children. So now you have understood, in today's class you have learnt about the life cycle of silkworm. In the life cycle of silkworm, you found it contains how many stages? 4 stages. What are they? Egg stage, larva stage, pupa or cocoon stage, and the last finally it is adult stage again. At what stage of silkworm does we get the silk? We get silk at its cocoon stage. That's how you are going to learn in the manufacture of the silk. Okay, children? So in the manufacture of the silkworm weavers, what do? They buy the seeds they buy the seeds which are called as vittulu. Okay, they buy the seeds from the seed growing centers. Okay, the biggest seed growing center is at Harsley Hills in Chittoor district. Also, the silkworms are also produced in Kadapa, Kurnool, Mahbubnagar, East Godavari district of a state also. Okay, in our East Godavari district of a state also they are being produced. And later this stifling process, so sorry, I am telling you about the worms, isn't it? Next, eggs. After eggs are being kept on the mesh frames and on the placing a white paper over the mesh frames, the eggs are being kept. At one go, each silk moth produces how many eggs, children? 500 eggs in each go, and then it dies. Okay, after the egg stage, the eggs are transformed to which stage? Larva stage. At larva stage, what does that do? It starts eating the leaves. It needs food, isn't it? So which food it is being produced or it is fed with? The silkworms are fed with mulberry leaves. So mulberry plantation. The mulberry plantation is in the that is Palmaneru of Chittoor district. We can see the mulberry twigs mostly, and 5 to 6 harvests of the worms are being produced in a year in the West Godavari district of our Andhra Pradesh. Of silkworms are being produced per a year. Okay, children? So in these silkworms, when they are fed with mulberry leaves, they try to grow. Slightly when they grow up to 30 to 35 days after they eat mulberry plantation or the mulberry leaves, they are finely chopped on large sized cane frames and spread like a bed, and these worms are transferred to the large sized frames which are called as Chandrikalu. Okay, so later when they grow up, they stop eating these mulberry leaves and they produce a saliva and surrounds around its body, okay, like a network. So when they are exposed to sunlight or air, it becomes strong, and this forms a closed sac which is called as cocoon. In Telugu it is called as Pattukayalu. Cocoons are called as Pattukayalu. What are the cocoons called, children? They are called as Pattukayalu in Telugu. Okay, later these cocoons are prone to stifling process. What happens if these cocoons are not stifled? The stifling process is done in order to kill the larva present inside the cocoon. If it is not killed, then the larva transforms to adult and pierces out the body of the cocoon and spoils the cocoon. In such case, we cannot get continuous silk thread. So, the cocoons ought to be stifled in order to get the continuous silk thread. Okay, children? So, that is what we can say, that in order to preserve the cocoons for a longer period, stifling process is done. Okay, so the process of killing the larva inside the cocoon is called stifling process. After that, reeling process is done. So how this stifling process is done? During the stifling process, all the cocoons are kept in a hot bath for 10 to 15 minutes, and then the larva present inside the cocoon is killed. Okay, then they are transferred into the hot water bath or boiling water, in which the thread or the cocoons are being loosened out. Okay, that is the cocoon thread is fibers present inside it is loosened. So they hold upon one end of the fiber and try to reel upon the reelers or twisters. So this is done in the reeling process. So through the reeling process we get the silk. Obtaining silk from the cocoons is called as reeling process. Okay, children, this is how we get the silk from the silk moth. Okay, so hope you have understood this, children, clearly. And now I'll also say about the places where the different silk is being produced. Different silk is being produced, and the different forms of silk are also produced. So the silk get its name from the place where it is being made. As you very well know that Kanchipuram silk, isn't it? Kanchi silk we say, isn't it? Banaras silk, Kanchi silk, Dharmavaram silk, Pochampalli silk. These are all the silk types of silk in which they get the names by its place where it is being made of. Okay, so this is of different types of silk you have learnt. So see here, children, what are the